Greetings, happy Sunday, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers. This is Dr. Amona Washington for Managerial Communication, MGMT3310, VC02 at Wayland Baptist University. I hope you all are having a wonderful Sunday. I have completed the feedback from homework 1. I'll do a short acknowledgement for week 2 discussion board. My apologies for the week 3. I'm not sure what happened. Clearly it was operator error. Me. You will have until Wednesday to complete week 3, and week 4 discussion questions will be posted shortly. This assignment's objective was really just an opportunity for me to get to know you and for you to have the opportunity to begin writing. Very easy in terms of tell me about yourself and answer the questions. I'll go overall and then I'll provide some personal feedback. Let's see my notes. Overall, please adhere to the class policies. I know the homework assignments will have some different instructions. Please refer to what I have set up, meaning all homework assignments must be a Word document, must be a minimum of 2 pages or very close to 2 pages, and double spaced. If you received a 0 for this assignment because you did not submit it as a Word document, you have the opportunity to resubmit it without any late penalties. For those of you who have not submitted it, you have not identified or notified me that you are having any problems, then this is my one-time good faith effort. You can still submit homework 1. It will receive a 30% late penalty. In my class policies, I identified that homework I will accept up to 3 days after the due date without any notification, meaning you haven't sent me an email, something's going on, you're just late. I will accept it after 3 days with a 10% late penalty. But this is your warning. Moving forward, I stick to it. Because this is an online class, it's not a distance education class in terms of you have the information and you can complete it at your leisure, and then right before the semester is over, you want to submit everything. Unfortunately, that class does not work this way, so please submit your assignments on time. There's some overarching themes in this class, which I like, really like. But here's some information that I will share just overall in terms of communication. Listening. Listening is the most neglected form of communication. And I believe one of the reasons is because we are taught how to write. We are taught how to speak. But no one really teaches us how to listen. We just assume that if I'm here and you're speaking, I'm listening. When in actuality, if I'm here and you are speaking, I am hearing, which is the same as if the fan was going on or the dog was barking. That's noise, and I'm hearing it, but I'm able to tune it out. I do not have to listen. Listening is an active engagement, meaning you are focused, you are purposefully avoiding distractions and comprehending what is being said. I'm a good listener. Oftentimes in person or on the phone, especially on the phone, I'm listening and the other party says, "Amona, are you there? Hello?" And I say, "I am here. I am listening." And when the person is completed, I am listening. And when they are finished talking, it takes me time to replay everything that was said and form my opinion and gather my words so I can have a response. See, what happens is someone typically is speaking. You hear an initial piece that you want to respond to, that incites you or either annoys you, or you're like, oh, that's great, I want to tell them about or share my experience. So after that part is spoken, you are now formulating your response. And while you are formulating your response, you're not listening anymore. You haven't heard the end of it. A key to know you're listening is when, after the person has finished speaking, it will take you some time, a few moments, to gather and recall everything that person said, and then for you to formulate your opinions. And sometimes you might have to say, I remember X, Y, and Z now, but what was that last part again? I want to make sure I got it. That's one thing. The other thing you can do is, after the person is finished speaking, is to say, well, let me just make sure I heard you right. I heard it correctly. Are you saying X, Y, and Z? Paraphrase. And it is appropriate to stop a person in between to make sure that you're still tracking. I just want to make sure I heard you right. Are you saying X, Y, and Z? Yes? Okay, now finish. I will tell you, no matter what your weak communication skill is, improving your listening skills will improve your overall communication immensely. So I challenge each of you to use one of the tools I spoke about as we continue on and we learn about listening, other tools that you try to implement, at least one, really two, listening tools. And at the end, I would love to hear how it has gone for you. Trust me, it will improve your overall communication. Many of you said you speak well. Awesome. I want to tell you about a great organization, Toastmasters. Toastmasters is an internationally recognized professional association. If you are an accountant, a doctor, a CPA, your professional associations, the Association of CPAs, the Associations of Managerial Accountants. But Toastmaster transcends all industries. I recently read an article where top Fortune 500 companies identified when they read Toastmasters on a resume, it immediately lets them know that that person has become or is on their way to becoming an effective communicator. It's also a way to talk about becoming a professional, I want to say professional, but a project manager. There are two pieces. It teaches you, one, how to communicate. The second piece is it teaches you how to manage programs. So I encourage you all to look at your local Toastmasters organization. I assure you it will be well worth the time and money for your professional development. So a lot of you said, or a few of you said about being blunt or candid. And that may come from it may originate from different things. I know for me, I'm a New Yorker, and I grew up in an environment where we were very straightforward, straight shooters. And sometimes that can come off as crash or rude. I had to learn. And this depends on the relationship, of course. It depends on the relationship. But here are some tools that I'll share with you. Sometimes in a work relationship or a quasi-personal relationship, you may ask, can I be candid with you? Can I be frank? May I speak freely? When you preface those terms, may I be candid? Can I be frank? May I speak freely? You are preparing the person for clear, direct responses. Now you might think, well, what will the person say? Can I be frank with you? No, please, I would prefer you start off with a bunch of fluff. Probably not. But when you ask if you can be frank or if you can be candid, it prepares the person. You give them the opportunity to, okay, be prepared for what is about to be said. And at that moment, that person can shield their feelings or take their feelings off their sleeve and be ready to receive the message, not the messenger. And what I mean by that is receive the message instead of trying to attach some negative emotion to you, the messenger, as being rude or too blunt or uncaring. So that's one. The other thing that I would say is just slow down. Slow down in terms of, if you know that you are a direct person like myself and I am in communication and my initial inclination is to spit off the response. The person says, asks for feedback, I slow down. I take a break. And I may say something like, I'm trying to think of the most appropriate way to deliver this information to you. And often the other person will say, well, just give it to me. Just say it. And that small delay, and when I take a breath and I acknowledge that I'm trying to think of the right words, I don't say, because I'm usually a straight shooter, or I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't say that. I just say, I'm trying to think of the most appropriate words to deliver this information. Again, it prepares the reader, and it gives the reader the opportunity to have some type of control and say, well, just give it to me, or maybe we'll talk about it later. So those are some things. Ask the person, can you be honest or frank or candid? Take a breath to really think of the words, especially if this relationship is new or if you know this person may be more sensitive. And then 3, just say I'm thinking of the right words and give that person some ownership of how the message can be delivered. I will say, for writing, I will be honest, I am not the best writer. I have to use writing tools, the Virtual Writing Center, Grammarly, past participle. I hate that. Use the tools, use the grammar tools that are afforded to you. And don't spend a bunch of energy on trying to perfect it. If you're a good speaker, if you're a good organizer, then focus on those things. Perfect the skills that you are good at. And just work on, if it's writing or something else, work on those skills just to bring them up to average. I'm a proponent of not focusing on your weaknesses, but making your strengths as strong as possible, bringing your weaknesses up to average, and then collaborating with people whose strengths are your weaknesses. So now I want to talk to you guys personally. Michael, I want to tell you about the CPA. And I wholeheartedly agree. Michael talks about the only way to financial freedom is to be able to have some type of ownership. And he wants to be or is a CPA. I totally agree. And a CPA dealing with numbers, writing is probably not your most strong tool. Incorporate what I said. Use the Grammarly tools. Use the writing tools. And stay where you are in their strengths. Joshua. Joshua says, I love it that you're the most frugal person you know. I don't know. I have a son who is pretty frugal. And he's about to be married and his fiance fusses all the time. But I think being frugal is an excellent characteristic, and I say keep up the good work. Again, writing. Use the tools available. Don't focus on you have to be perfect. Just use the tools that are available to bring your writing up to par. Raul, I hope I'm saying your name right. Raul, good job. You're working on your PMP. I think that's a wonderful thing. PMP project, professional project management, is a skill that I see staying in the industry for a long time. Some time back we had Six Sigma, which is coming back. I did a Six Sigma. It came onto the industry and then it kind of faded. And now it's pretty much only in certain industries. But PMP will be here. It has stood the test. It has stood the test of time. So I continue and wish you much success with your certification. Sterling, great. Sterling, I agree with you in terms of it is very likely when you finish your degree, it will open up future promotion opportunities. And it's always great if those opportunities can be where you are, but don't pigeonhole yourself. You never know. You've been there a long time and that's great. But your degree opens up opportunities all around. So make sure you just keep your eyes open. Clinton. Hold on, I need to turn something on. Sorry. Okay. Clinton, as you transition out the military, I will tell you, yes, communication could be, doesn't have to be, could be a challenge. My advice to you is to focus on the organizational culture of where you will transition to, and understand that for the most part, the military communication style does not transition to most other companies because it's very specific because of our mission. So prepare yourself mentally to learn a new communication style, and the best one would be as you are doing your research and as you enter an organization, look at the communication style of that particular organization. Marina, I love it. Spain, Marina's from Spain, and Spain is one of the places that's on my bucket list. So maybe I will email you and ask you where is a good place to go. She loves to travel. Danielle, I wanted to tell you, great job, Danielle, about the speaking classes. I talked about Toastmasters. Make sure that you... Did I talk about Toastmasters? I think I did. I did. Toastmasters. You're in a speaking class, Danielle. Make sure at some point you look at Toastmasters. I'm sorry if I didn't say it, so let me just briefly say it. Toastmasters, internationally recognized professional association. Look into that. And you talked earlier about your cosmetology and about you being a stay-at-home mom, and when you complete your degree, maybe re-entering the workforce. I would say that if you have the opportunity to use your cosmetology as well to stay in business or to stay connected at least, whatever that may include, remember, you already have a skill as a cosmetologist, so continue to use that. Anthony, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service as a police officer. We need good public servants. And I know that you have one of the most difficult and sometimes it may feel thankless job. But I'm here to tell you, thank you for your service as a police officer. And yes, your communication style may be different. It may have to be a conscious change in how you speak when you are on work and when you are off work. I would say as a tip, when you leave work, that you incorporate some type of ritual that changes you from police officer Anthony to regular Anthony. And part of that ritual you consider, you purposely think part of the ritual is that you need to change your language. Lori, I too love to travel, but I hate planning. And I don't know why I hate planning. Like you said, you like to travel, you like the whole planning aspect. I hate the planning aspect because I keep clicking and finding new things, and it's not perfect, and I can spend 40 minutes and not get it done because it's too many choices. So I don't like that. But I will tell you that it's great as you are pursuing your degree that your current company has other opportunities. As you're pursuing your degree, remember to talk to people. Remember to talk to people. Remember to look for opportunities to interject that you are studying, that you're pursuing a degree in this industry, and that you're looking for opportunities to stay with the company. The other thing I will tell you, Lori, is to look at the job postings and see the type of jobs that are available. And as you are pursuing this degree, see if any of the jobs that are available interest you. So then you have something to focus on, perhaps. Rick. A Stingray? Wow, that's pretty cool. Rick has a Corvette, a Stingray. I'm glad that you're using this opportunity as you pursue your degree, and that it will afford you promotion opportunities. I love to hear that. Elizabeth is from Brazil. That's another place on my bucket list. Puerto Rico, Brazil, and Spain are the South American type places that are on my bucket list. And I wish you good luck in finding a summer internship. I wish you good luck. Start talking to people. And continue to finding internships. Deborah, I loved reading yours. You said you have this crazy writing. And I have to be honest, writing is not my strong suit either. I shared some tips in writing. Use outlines. Use voice, like either record yourself and then try to write. Use outline, bullet points, and then the tools. And I am standing with you from the paper to me, and from me to you and to God's ear, that you will have, how many did you say? 20 salespeople working for your company before 2021. You said 2021. We're standing and asking God that it be before 2021, but I'm standing with you with that. Gregorio, I hope I said it right. Thank you. Thank you for your service to the military. Thank you for your service as a police officer. And as you continue to move forward and transition out into other endeavors to improve your communication, one thing I would say is keep this book. This is a good book. And they update it not very often, but when they do, get it again. Order it again, even if it's online or updates. This book, I think, is a gold mine in terms of ways to effectively improve your communication. For week 2, I'll keep it short because I've been talking for a while. The technology, the rapid advancement of technology has made our writing more prevalent because we have less, not that we have less, we use less times to speak face to face. Our writing is a form of communication that we just have to improve. And then the other piece in terms of how can we support waiting to review a message, it's very simple. We're not heart surgeons. We don't have bodies on the table waiting to die unless we hurry up. Take our time. It is worth the review. Thank you for the feedback. Moving forward, I will continue to do feedback from the video. I am enjoying it. Please remember the notes for homework. For those of you who did not submit your homework as a Word document, please respond immediately. You will not receive any late points. And this is my one-time good deed. For those of you who did not, please respond. You will receive late penalty, but I will accept it. As I said in my class policies, the due dates, I will accept late assignments up to 3 days after the due date with a 10% late penalty. If there's something going on, let me know. That's different. But this is not a distance education course, meaning you have all the material and based on your time schedule, you submit it. And typically that's at the end, because I don't accept late work unless you have prearranged something with me. You guys, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you next time. Please continue to give me feedback on the videos. Thank you.